everyone. I want to talk about Matt Revees the Batman. Alright, this was a fantastic film. For you don't know, uh, there's murder in Gotham, and the Riddler has been killing government officials of one sort or another and leaving riddles on the designated crime scenes for the Batman to find and investigate. This leads him to team up with Jim Gordon and continually investigate these details, running them into some familiar characters with other familiar characters running in the background. Most notably the Penguin and Catwoman. The film stars Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Paul Dano, Jeffrey Wright, John Turturro, Peter Skarsgård and Andy Serkis as Alfred. The film is nearly 3 hours long, and it takes much joy in its murder mystery, and it has much confidence as well in it. I mean, the world building that Matt Reeves did was excellent. I mean, it was dank, it was dour, it was a brightly lit city at night filled with crime, as opposed to the more polished version that Christopher Nolan gave us. And there was the kind of hypnotic, hyper-real, gothic images of the Batman world that we expected. The car is kind of a quasi-muscle car. And Robert Pattinson kind of plays him as borderline manic-depressed, insomniac, kind of 90s grunge rock or emo. I mean, it's difficult to say why we kind of surrendered to this. I know the film was a hit at the box office, but it done substantially better at home. And like the first Batman Begins, I believe it set the right tone to hit into the stratosphere with the second film. I mean, the violence was graphic. It was populated with more background characters than, say, The Dark Knight. And it doesn't have the clearer through line that The Dark Knight had. I mean, The Dark Knight was quite a simple story. Batman, the Joker and the mob. This was a little more dense and complicated, and I don't know if it was kind of consciously built for home viewing, where you could sit and luxuriate in it. And I wonder, will this kind of get more rewatches at home? I think of all the Batman films, I know I did say Tim Burton's Batman did a good job of world building, but it built the mythology of Batman, the myth of Batman in the world. It fixated on that. Whereas this kind of built a host of background characters. It's Batman for the television age. Is Robert Pattinson a better Batman or worse? I think he looks the best. I think, the black leather with the kind of background light. Christian Bale was really, really clearly lit in The Dark Knight. Christopher Nolan, strangely, oddly, in the grandeur of his films, he keeps things quite simple. He has a clear narrative. The scenes are super specific in their purpose, which allows him to move the camera. Whereas this film is really built, it's on sets. There's shot lists. He's getting through all the shots. He's linking it together, uncertain going into the edit. And that makes for kind of a deeper feeling, less of the urgency of a Christopher Nolan film. Although some of that will have to change for the second one if he wants to, push on to a trilogy. And he has. It's been delayed, and I would guess that Matt Reeves wrote the film he wanted to write, buzzed off the success of the first one and the option to make the second one, and of course the studio expressed concerns, wanting something a little swifter, like he was probably another murder mystery. Batman is a detective in the truest sense. I mean, he's basically Sherlock Holmes. And the narrative is really, really clever. It's layered into the characters. The penguin, a bird, a rat, what's a flying pigeon? It's in Spanish. John Turturro oozes charisma in the film. He's really, really good. I don't know if I like this the best. I think because there's more Batman world building. Again, as I said, it's Batman in the age of television. It spawned the Penguin TV series, which was really good. Colin Farrell turned out to be an absolute sensation. Arguably the highlight for a lot of people. I mean, the TV series was a massive hit. Zoe Kravitz was fantastic, sexy, vulnerable and mysterious. Jeffrey Wright oozed respect and intelligence. Peter Skarsgård is a villainous character and projects that vulnerability and kind of manic energy as is necessary. Andy Serkis is, of all the rocks you'd want to lean on, he was fantastic. I thought the conflict between himself and Bruce Wayne, Robert Patterson, was great. There was a real resistance to the father-son relationship, um, in a kind of very natural, healthy way that was, earnest and engaging. And there's room for that to grow because, where Alfred finished in the third film, you know, Andy Serkis was already there, already tired of the petulant child's anger. And like the theme of Bruce Wayne, the idea of Bruce Wayne, with Tim Burton's films, it was more about kind of social alienation. For Christopher Nolan, it was more, for the one with George Clooney, it was the alienation of wealth. Psychological alienation for Batman Forever, and Christopher Nolan was more so about the duality of a person. Batman has a psychological complex. This is more about depression.
The hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
Like and subscribe, and leave comments underneath if you want me to talk about any other films.